Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Today is Thursday, June 30th, the end of June already. And what comes after June? July. What's in July? The 4th of July. One of my favorite holidays. Not just because of what it stands for. American independence from those Brits back in the day, fought off the Redcoats, and declared our freedom from England, from the crown. I think back then it was the King of England, which was, I believe, King George. I'm no historian, but if that's true, pat on the back for me for knowing that, right? School did teach me something. I did not just learn or not learn anything. King George. I believe that's who we defeated. And I also believe, the command of General George Washington, he helped us defeat the British, who I believe, actually I'm not even going to say it, it might be untrue. And why I put that out there, me being wrong. You know what I think my talent might actually be in life nowadays is professionally being wrong on things and saying wrong and incorrect things on this show. That kind of has become, I guess when you do a podcast, when you talk for hours and hours and hours and it's all recorded, and for the most part, I don't really prep a whole lot. A whole lot. Like, if there's something interesting that I want to know about, or if there's something like I want to, pay attention to, I will do my quote-unquote research, and I will find out things and, do my very, very best to deliver the correct information. But on certain things, when I just kind of riff about, I don't know, like games or movies or sports or TV or current events or news or, nothing that's, to be taken too seriously, I kind of let the research go by the wayside and just kind of, roll with it. I just kind of, let's see what I can, pull out. And I always try to make sure that I say also that I'm no scientist, because we live in a day and age where you can say one thing years and years ago, or claim something, and then people find it decades later or years later, and they say, oh, he must be, right about this. He thinks this. It's like, not really how life works there, bud. Not really how it goes. See, life is all about progression and learning and evolving and things changing. It's not just going to stay one thing and one thing only. Not really a lot of things do that in life. Opinions change, stances change, seasons change, stuff like that. Everything changes, for better or for worse. So, yeah, I guess me being wrong, is kind of what I'm known for. My special talent. You see, growing up, I didn't have many special talents. You know what, actually, I did have a special talent. It was being very, very lazy. That was my special talent. Nobody could sit on their ass and watch TV and eat junk food more than I could. Still to this day, probably many cannot attempt this colossal feat that I have been able to achieve throughout my years of existence. My special talent. No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody can do it. And then that evolved when I got older, when I got wiser, when I got more responsibilities. My talent then shifted from just watching TV and eating junk food to napping. That was another big talent of mine, was just napping. I swear, man, I would get a full 8 hours of rest. Back when I was in, college, right? I would get a full, 7 to 8 hours of rest. I'm going to backtrack a bit, maybe 7 to 8, sometimes 6.5 to 8, give or take a couple days. And then what would I do when I get home? I would immediately take a nice long nap. And some people say, well, Alex, a nap is like 20 to 30 minutes. An hour might not be considered a nap nowadays. That wasn't even a nap for me back then. A nap for me back then was 2 hours at the minimum. And by golly, it was not a good thing to have, but I could outdo anybody with it. And it came natural to me. It was just natural. My talent, my special talent. And that stuck with me for a while throughout college and many years after college. I've since dialed it back a bit. Now I try to go for that 20-minute sweet spot, which by golly, when you can actually nail that 20-minute sweet spot of a nap, that power nap, and then get up and you actually feel pretty energized. Sorry, I had a belch there. I'm really trying to not have that many bodily functions when I tape the podcast nowadays, because I've been getting a lot of complaints from some of my most loyal fans that they get sick and tired of when my body does its functions, whether that be burp, inhale, exhale, sniffle, snort, whistle, gleek, salivate, whatever it may be. They really hate it. And, I love them to death, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? Literally cut everything out? See, I just did one right there. You're going to attack me now? Go ahead. I want to see how you come at me now. Now, I love them. They're great people. They're beautiful people. My friends, my pals, my buddies. But, maybe I'll just release one episode and I'll have it be an hour long, and I'll go through everything that I've ever recorded and just make it I'll title the episode My Body, and I will just have everything from burps to sniffles to coughs to snorts to salivates to mouth smack to anything. Chew, drink, swallow, anything, and I'll make that one episode, and I'll call it like I'll name it something so clickbaity that they'll have to click on it. I'll name it like I'm moving to Mexico, or I'm moving to Europe. I'll name it that. That way they have to at least hear 1 second of what it is, and they will get absolutely triggered out of their minds and then come at me with that, and I'll say, gotcha. And that will fulfill my entire existence towards my friends. Now, granted, I have said this before. I love my friends, my pals, my buddies. I love them. And it's going to. And I've realized that sometimes I kind of do. Keep a couple things in, like a little inhale and exhale. That and they love that. They love it. They love it so much. They actually don't. But I feel like it keeps the show a little bit more grounded and human, I guess. I mean, I am in fact a human being. I'm not going to just talk and not, my body just kind of break down in the process of me talking for an hour straight to absolutely nobody, except for myself. This is pretty much what the show is all about. That's kind of how it's been for the past over a year. So, I mean, you know what you signed up for. You see it, the title of the show. You know what it's all about. I mean, come on. But that was a little bit of a sidetrack. I kind of want to get back to my talents. And I was always jealous of people's talents around me. Always very jealous. Whether it be they were a fast reader. I really, really wish I was a fast reader. I really did. The amount of times that I saw kids and even friends of mine finish a good-sized book, right? A good Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire size book within like 2 days, I'd be like, bro, you remember what you read? And they'd be like, yeah, I remember every single thing. And still to this day, some of them still remember everything in these books. And I'm like, kudos to you, man. Kudos for keeping in absolutely pointless information for all these years. I don't need to know that fucking Ron Weasley, did a bad spell and broke, a glass or something like that. I don't care. I truly don't care. Maybe because I was stuck reading Magic Treehouse books until I was in 8th grade. That could have been, why I'm a bit salty on these natural-born, God-given talents. It's truly wasn't fun growing up like that. Maybe it was because I had a little bit of a learning disability. Maybe it was that. Maybe I was always, maybe I was a slow kid. I didn't feel slow. I truly didn't. I mean, I got pretty decent grades, and if I was slow, why the fuck did no one tell me that I was slow? I feel like I'm pretty, normal now. I mean, I haven't read a book in like a couple years, but I'm pretty sure I would be pretty, a lot faster than I was in 8th grade. I would only hope so. But anyways, there was no more fun book to read than Magic Treehouse. I don't give a shit what Harry Potter did in that big-ass book the size of the goddamn Bible. I don't give a shit. Why the fuck is that book even that long? I mean, truly. J.K. Rowling, what were you thinking writing that in that Old Testament sized novel? What are you thinking? What kid is going to want to read that? First of all, there's absolutely no pictures. I mean, where's the pictures? Where's the book for actual visual creativity seekers? Like, I don't know what's happening. You expect me to use my imagination? I mean, that was also another talent that kids had that I just did not have. Their imaginations were running rampant. And you know where I could tell that was? Not just because of what they imagined, around them, whether it was like, kind of putting themselves in scenarios of like, playing on the playground or being an actor or stuff like that in like school plays. But the kids who were able to draw, I was always jealous of them. How they could just, create things from whatever. It's like a movie, a TV show, a cartoon, and just like, and spin it off and make their own things. I was big into Lord of the Rings as a kid. Very, very big into Lord of the Rings as a kid. And one of my buddies back then was a great artist. Probably still is to this day. He drew so well. Creativity, way better than I could. And, at such an age that he had no art classes, no training, just had this natural talent of art and, creativity. And he would, like, make drawings of, like, characters and orcs back then in Lord of the Rings, doing different things from the movies or recreating things from the movies. I was just, like, blown away. Like, wow, dude, you are really good. And again, no art classes, nothing, just like a natural creativity. That, and I kind of lacked that when I was a kid. And I was like, damn, why am I, like, not, like, cool? Why am I so boring? And, and it's just like, and other kids were good at sports. Another natural-born, God-given talent was your ability to be athletic. And that was just not me. I truly have been fat for my entire existence. I actually, you know what? I'll take that back. I lost some weight when I was in college for a bit. I got down to, my lowest weight was 211 pounds. For a man that is 5'11", that's still not great, but it was much lower than what I was. And that was a good accomplishment for me. But it's always been a struggle for me to be athletic. Especially when I was a kid, when I would try to play sports with other kids. I was never fast enough. Never ever fast. Just, I would try my hardest in the 50-yard dash, the 40-yard dash, hurdles, the relay, And every single time, I would think that I'm so fast. Like I hear the wind zipping past my ears. Like, oh, I'm going fast. Like the wind can't get out of the way fast enough for me. And then some guy to my left passes me with ease. To my right passes me with ease. Both sides of me just pass me with ease, and I lose the race. I get like fifth. I wasn't the slowest, but I'm like, damn, I'm not even close to these guys. And they're like, we're the same age, same, I should be able to keep up, but like, there's just no way. I was just like, every time I tried, it was like, nope, you're not good enough, kid. And that transitioned to actual sports like soccer. I played soccer up until my sophomore year of high school. And then I realized that, listen, I mean, like, my dad's like, you got to play. And I'm like, Dad, these guys are good. Like, I can't even believe that I made the JV team as a sophomore because I barely played. And when I did play, I was like, I was more of a glue guy. I just kind of supported the team. I was there for a couple passes, and I would complete a couple passes that led to nothing, really. A couple goals. I think I had like maybe one assist and one goal my entire sophomore season career in soccer. And that was about it. And then after that, I was like, I'm not good enough to continue this. I'm just not. I'm not good enough. And I just, I quit. And then, you move on. You're like, I'm not athletic. I'm not an athlete. I cannot continue. But it was fun, though. I guess, like, through thick and thin, as a kid, when you're discovering talents and you're discovering what you're good at, what you're not good at, and if maybe you are talented, maybe you're not, the most important thing is having fun. And I did have fun. I had a lot of fun. It was, those times, those days where you would bond with your teammates and, go on bus rides, hang out, stuff like that, practices. It was a lot of fun. It truly was. And I guess having fun is my talent. I love having fun. And even if the thing is like, not a fun thing to do, like, something that you're just like, how can we have fun doing this? I'll find a way to make it fun. And I'll find a way to, I guess, help people have fun doing it. What's that word called that kind of sums up of what I'm trying to describe myself as? I guess more of a how do I describe this? I wasn't this as, like, it recently came on to me. Like, I wasn't, like, really this person growing up. I was very shy as a kid. But I guess I kind of become more of a, it'll take me a while, but, like, once I get to know you and I'm, like, cool with you, I guess I'm just a fun guy. I guess being, like, a fun, likable guy, and, I become, I guess, like a, I don't know. I maybe just a people person, really. Like, once I get to know you, once I've hung out with you for a few times, or maybe even just like the first like night I see you, and like, I like this guy. This person's cool, and we'll just have fun. We'll shoot the shit. We'll talk about things. I'll get to know you, and we'll go off from there. Then there's endless possibilities, stuff like that. I guess that's my special talent. It definitely wasn't nothing else, like no academics either. I mean, I was an actual moron in school up until college, where they're like, hey, you gotta try. You're paying money for this. Might as well give it a shot. And I did. Thankfully, I graduated college. Was it worth it? Sure, I think. It definitely felt good on graduation day. I'll tell you that much. It was fun. That was cool. Seeing all your friends graduate, classmates graduate. Can't really take that away. I know this is very like poorly timed. I mean, like, it's already gonna be July, and I'm talking about graduating and all that. But like, what am I supposed to do, right? It just kind of went all the way. I guess. Snaked itself back to that kind of moments, I guess. There's another special talent that I have. I get sidetracked quite a bit with things like this. Even if I'm talking to people, you know, friends, family, I tend to get sidetracked. I don't think it's because, I find it not interesting. I just feel like that there's other angles that you can take it and other ways you can look at things. And then, it just opens doors for other things. Is that, something, is that a problem? I don't know. I don't feel like it is a problem. I just feel like it's, part of my talent. And I was talking about this earlier, and being incorrect on certain things. I feel like a lot of people are kind of, like that sometimes too. You know, we just, it's just, I think it just comes across as naturally conversing with people, right? Like we live in an age where you got to be right all the time. Not only just because it feels good, but like you got to be, with the age of social media, age of like entertainment and like your media influencers and all that, you got to be 100% right, or else you're labeled as a bad influence, or you're not. You're spreading. I love this. I love this so much. Misinformation. That term has blown up quite a bit these past couple years. Now I feel like I'm no influencer. I just kind of sit here and talk, and people listen. That doesn't mean they have to believe everything that I say, or believe that what I say is 100% true. No, that's kind of like, you just, when you talk, it just kind of naturally happens. It's just now being recorded, and it's like people are like, oh, it's recorded, it's set in stone, it's official, this is what he believes in. It's like, really? I mean, like, yeah, I know I hit record, but it's like, once that goes away, when it's like, the jitters of recording a podcast goes away, it's like, oh shoot, I mean, like, yeah, I guess I am recording this. Huh? Maybe I shouldn't be. But I love it. I have fun with it. I have a lot of fun with it. I enjoy it. Why do you think I'm doing it? Maybe it's like another talent of mine is doing something, being able to do the thing that I love to do. Some people just, they have issues with, people around them, themselves, and wanting to do the thing that they love, and they're having trouble trying to do it, or continuing to do it, or even getting started to do it. Not me, man. I'm doing it. I'm having fun. And whether people like it or not, I'm going to keep doing it. That's all, and that's all you can really do for yourself, too, is to do what makes you the happiest, and enjoy it. And don't think of it as you got to please everybody, because you don't. You don't have to please really anybody. I mean, you probably should try to please your parents, especially if they sacrificed a lot for you and did a lot of things for you, and I mean, obviously raised you, right? I mean, like, imagine if you were just born and it was like we were like animals, and you just had to fend for yourself for, since you were born. You gotta go find food, go find water. Like, what if we weren't like sentient and had a brain that allowed us to be what we are today, and we just like, whoa, pop out of the womb and like, whoa, shoot, where's mom? Not here. Oh shit, I gotta find food and shelter right now. Like, no, we have mom and dad. If you're lucky enough, you had a good house, good parents, and pretty nice shelter, a lot of food, stuff like that. And yeah, it's just it all kind of circles back to, do what makes you happy. I feel like the talents, in certain aspects, some of them can some can make you happy, some cannot. Like, I'm pretty sure that some people are good at certain things that, it comes naturally to them, but probably they don't enjoy it as much as, they would like to. I find out like that might be a thing with I don't know, certain jobs, maybe certain professions. Yeah, maybe you're really good at math. Maybe you're pretty good at it, but you don't really enjoy it. Maybe you're in a job now that requires a lot of math, but isn't really making you happy. Stuff like that. It's like, whoa, shoot, what do I do then? Or maybe, I don't know, you're good at being a debater, but you're a lawyer. And like, I don't like being a lawyer. You know, it doesn't make me feel good. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But for the most part, if you're using your talent for good and you enjoy doing it, and you have no problem and it makes you happy, then that's all the power to you. That's great. At the top of the show, I mentioned that it is going to be July. And and I mentioned 4th of July. Kind of want to talk about how the 4th of July, was so much more fun when you were a kid. When you were a kid, you didn't have to buy the fireworks. Now, I'm no longer a kid. I have to purchase my own fireworks. By golly, I'll tell you this. Fireworks at this time of year, when we get them once a year, 4th of July, that's pretty much it. They're no pretty penny. I mean, they're not cheap. They cost a pretty penny to buy fireworks, and depending on the ones that you do buy or what stand you go to, or even if you don't live in California, right, where they just like to give us the legal ones are the most bitchy. I'll just say it right then and there. They're the worst. They cost a lot. There's not that many in a pack usually. They don't last very long, and they just kind of stoink. They're not that fun. And, there's certain brands out there that you should definitely avoid. I'm not going to say whom, because I don't want to sound like super negative. But it does start with a P and ends with an M. So, if you know, I would do, if you're going to take any advice from me, and I'm not saying you should, in my experience, they've had some pretty cheap, not long-lasting fireworks in that stand. So yeah, if you can avoid them, do it. But I always enjoy a good bottle rocket. The way that it looks, the way that it sounds. When you're a kid, it's like, wow, look at that. And that's up until the point where they no longer scare you. But when you're at that point when they don't scare you anymore, and you're just like, whoa, what is? Look at that. And then you're just so amazed, especially if you have like a good fireworks show in your town or wherever you go. Disney used to have a good one. I haven't been there in a while because I fucking hate that place now. But back when I was a kid and I loved fireworks, 4th of July Disney, it was such a spectacle to see. The fireworks show, how they're so choreographed and like every explosion is timed, and it's just a beautiful sight. And it really does, it becomes like an art form. They can create images with explosions and different colors, and I don't know, I have no idea how they do it, but like it's incredible. And they're so loud too. It's just like a combination of explosions and light and beautiful colors, and just like, sometimes they'll have music in the background. It's like it syncs up, and I think that also like just like a good, just an outburst of fireworks too, like a finale of the fireworks show is just bliss, pure bliss. It's so much fun. It brings back memories. It's like, yes, I remember all of this. This is what made me happy as a kid. And you get like those childhood flashbacks. Those like, yeah, I used to have fun a lot with this. I like this. Let's continue this. And then also, if you were, had a good 4th of July, you had a bunch of family over, which we did. We would swim. We would have a lot of food. We would just talk, party, have music playing. It was just the best. It was amazing. It was a great time. 4th of July was such a great holiday when you were a kid. I mean, all holidays are, but like that was like a party. And that wasn't just like an indoor gathering. It was always outdoors. And it was always just grilling in the sun, by the pool, putting on sunblock, even though as a kid, like, fuck that, Mom, I don't get sunburnt. And then you go in the pool, and then it's like, oh, Mom, I can't touch my face. And you're like, oh, I should listen to my mom. She was right about that sunburn. But yeah, it's all part of the fun and part of the experience of the 4th of July. And I just hope everybody who listens to the show has a good 4th of July. And, just have fun. Eat a hot dog. eat a burger, spend some time with your friends, enjoy it. It's only once every year. And pretty much anybody who is an American can celebrate, or lives in this country can celebrate. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful holiday, and I love it. I truly love it. Go get patriotic. Watch Independence Day. By the way, what a great movie Independence Day is. I mean, I know I'm really biased, and I give Independence Day an 11 out of 10, but that movie is just on another level of, for one, patriotism and just pure epicness. I mean, talk about this. An alien invasion comes down to Earth. Alien civilization comes down to Earth, invades the planet, destroys capital cities, destroys our military, and the entire planet must come together and unite to defeat the alien threat. And how do they do it? By just teaming up and putting their differences aside and get those bastards and send them on their way and destroy them. I mean, led by Will Smith and, Jeff Goldblum, and the best president probably in reality and in fiction, Bill Pullman. Lovely. Love that guy. Best speech ever. And when your president's like, he's going to suit up and go fly a fighter jet to fight off the aliens, I mean, what could you ask for? How could you ask for any more? How could you? But yeah, watch Independence Day, especially on the 4th of July. I do. It's quite the tradition. I love it so much. It's dear to my heart, and it makes me happy. It makes me really, really happy. Moving on, though, I want to talk a little bit about movies. In particular, my favorite movie of the year so far, Top Gun Maverick, has crossed $1 billion at the box office, the global box office. Now, I went on the record on this podcast, and because it was a week before the movie came out, a month ago, and I was while I was hyped about the movie, I was extremely excited about the movie. I wasn't seeing a whole lot of forecasting for the movie of it's already has this much money in pre-ticket sales. It's shattering records for pre-ticket sales and premieres and all that. It wasn't really doing that, prior to the release until it actually released, and then made records on Memorial Day weekend. Lowest drop off, I think in forever. Lowest second weekend drop off, I should say. And then it goes on to make over $1 billion at the box office. This is also, by the way, without Chinese and Russian releases. So this movie can't be viewed in China or Russia, and it still made over $1 billion. And I think, honestly, if I can pinpoint one thing that this movie did and how it resonated with people and why it has made over $1 billion and is still hauling in money, is word of mouth. Because I am watching TV, I'm watching sports, I'm watching YouTube. I don't see a whole lot of promotion still for this movie. Yet it still continues to rake in money like it's nobody else's business. And I just gotta, I have to think that it's just the word of mouth. It's just a great movie. There's no way to go around about it. It's just a great movie. And I think that everybody has been able to watch it and just be like, dude, that was awesome. And, kudos to the filmmakers, to Tom Cruise, all the actors involved. That you made the summer blockbuster back. You really did. And this is a movie that's not, part of an expanded universe. I mean, it is a sequel, but it's a sequel to a 36-year-old movie. And there's no, things you have to watch before. There's no build up to it. There's no series that is tagged along that you should watch before it. It's just a movie, a blockbuster movie that I think deserves every penny. And with that news coming, and how I was kind of skeptical, and I said it probably won't make 300 million in the States. Now it's made well over that. I'm just so ecstatic about it. I really am, and I feel like it's gonna. I hope it does. They don't make a third one. I'll say that for sure, because I don't see how they can make a third one as good, if not better, than Top Gun Maverick. And that's no shame. That's not saying that they don't have it in them. I'm just saying that, I mean, for them to even make it better than Top Gun 1 was like, nobody ever thought that it was going to be better than Top Gun 1. And I can confirm that Top Gun Maverick is better than Top Gun. It just flat out is. So I don't know if they would be, they're probably going to be tempted because they just made over $1 billion. They held on to that movie. It was supposed to come out in 2020, then 2021, now finally in 2022. And, you make $1 billion, you're like, shoot, should we make another one? I mean, that was pretty epic right there. We just made $1 billion. Really, really hope that they don't. I really do think that movie and the story of Maverick is so sealed tight, shut, concluded, that it doesn't need another movie. It really doesn't. I know they'll be tempted because they just made $1 billion, but I'm begging you, Paramount, as much as you want to, and as much as you think that it's gonna be cool to do it, and it might be cool. Trust me. I might be eating these words. And they'll be like, Top Gun 3 is even better than Maverick, and that's even better than the first one. It's like, whoa, then what am I going to say, right? But, like, for now, and this is just because I'm so in awe of that movie, and I just want to watch it over and over and over again, I don't think we need a third one. I truly don't think that we need a third one yet. Sit on it, and if you're going to do one, don't say anything. Just try to work on it. Don't get the hype up yet. We just saw Maverick. We loved Maverick. We just keep it under wraps. Do it in secret. Keep to yourself. Think about it. If something comes along, you're like, oh, that's a good idea. That'd be cool. Then go and do it. Wait till you get the story. You can tell with this movie, Top Gun Maverick, they had a story laid out and a story planned out, and that the story came first, and you can just tell. The characters in that movie, even from the first one, the things that happened and even in between that, it all kind of came together in Maverick and just kind of made it a good story, a really, really good story. It's not like too convoluted, not too complicated, but it's done well and it's executed perfectly. And that needs to be looked at with other studios and with other directors and producers. Like, that's how you do a sequel, and that's how you just make a good movie, is actually give a shit and within the characters and how they get to that point, and don't just half-ass it because you need to make a deadline or you need to make a release date. Just figure out what you got to do, how to do it, and do it the right way. Yeah, and that's what I've always been very appreciative with Tom Cruise and his movies is for the most part in his career, besides The Mummy, he has made some pretty stellar movies. Edge of Tomorrow, the Mission Impossible movies, this, he puts care and effort into his movies, and this is his biggest grossing movie of all time. Fallout, Mission Impossible Fallout is behind it with like 700 and something million, but even then, it's just like, wow, this is a crowning achievement, and if they're gonna make another one, just good luck, because Maverick was incredible. That's a tough act to follow, and if you do, maybe just take your time with it. That's the best advice I can give you. And I'm not a filmmaker, by the way. I just love movies, and I love good shit, and that was some good shit. Top Gun Maverick was some good shit. Moving on, a little bit more movie talk. This actually excited me quite a bit, because I feel like this is what people have always wanted. This is what people have always maybe not needed. Maybe I do need it, but I definitely wanted, at least. And the news broke. The news came out that Christian Bale was asked during his press conference for Thor: Love and Thunder about, another Batman, if he would do it. And he made it very clear back in the day that he was done with Batman. Him and Chris Nolan were done after the trilogy, after The Dark Knight Rises, which I don't love. I think it's a pretty okay movie. Definitely does not belong in the talking of the best ever superhero movie of all time. Not even close, I think. I think it had incredible marketing, incredible hype behind it. But ultimately, I felt like the movie, now when I watch it now versus back then, because I was head over heels with The Dark Knight Rises when it first came out. And I might have been drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit too much. I might have been trying to trick myself into saying, like, it's better than The Dark Knight. Now I'm like, I was so stupid back then. I don't agree with that at all. I actually think that it's the worst of the three. If I were to rank them, I'm going to go The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight Rises. Simple, plain and simple. Back then, I think I ranked them The Dark Knight Rises, Dark Knight, and then The Batman Begins. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I've seen the light. My opinion has changed. I think for the better in this case. Having said that, I still think that it's okay. It definitely doesn't feel like the story that Chris Nolan wanted to tell, but, the circumstances of Heath Ledger passing so abruptly and unfortunately, you kind of have to pivot, and they went with Bane. Now, I don't hate Bane. I certainly like Bane more than the Bane in the Nolan universe and the comic universe. I mean, I hate the comic book Bane. I think he's cringe as fuck. Having said that, I would much rather have Joker again, just because it was so good. But back to the news, though. Bale has stated that he would absolutely do another Batman movie as long as Christopher Nolan returns to direct it. I mean, yes, please, baby. Yes, please, people. Chris Nolan, I know you don't like Warner Brothers anymore. And that's just because of what happened with Tenet and the pandemic and getting it released with not a lot of people going to see it, not making a lot of money. He kind of burned him. Warner Brothers kind of burned him in that situation. He's like, I'm out. I'm going to Universal. And, so that's going to be tough. If Warner Brothers wants to get Chris Nolan back, they're going to have to pay him a shit ton of money and let him do whatever the fuck he wants. I mean, he does whatever the fuck he wants now, but, after the burned bridges with that situation with Tenet, I mean, it's going to take a lot for him to come back and do another Dark Knight movie. But if he does do it, and he's got Bale in it, you better believe that I'm there day one to see that. I love Christopher Nolan's Batman universe more than most people I know. A lot more than most people I know. And I want that to happen. Because, listen, I mean, The Dark Knight Rises it concluded that trilogy decently, but I feel like if you give me another a fourth movie, right, and this be really, really, really the end, this is it, and make it an actual true ending. The Dark Knight Rises could be a soft ending, but this will be the hard, concrete ending of this Batman and this Batman universe. Then I would absolutely love it. I would love it. I mean, it'd be like a Toy Story 4, in my opinion. Except Toy Story 3 was incredible, and The Dark Knight Rises is not incredible. So that'd be the only main difference between the two trilogies, is that Toy Story 3 is actually incredible, and I like Toy Story 4 a lot, and I think it concluded pretty well too. But I think that Toy Story 3's ending was just, I guess, better for that story. I know Toy Story 4 has a different story and all that, but I just feel like it's another ending. But we already got that ending. We already got the ending for those toys, really. Right? Am I the only one that thinks that? I don't know. I know people like to say that Toy Story 4 is Woody's ending, and Toy Story 3 was Andy's relationship with his toys ending, but give me a fucking break, people. How often is Andy in these movies? Sometimes I even forget that Andy's the kid who owns the toys. Give me a break. I mean, I've heard that opinion a couple times. I don't agree with it, but I'm like, excuse me, sir. You think that the story of Toy Story is about Andy's relationship with these toys and Andy's ownership of these toys? No, this is about Andy's toys adventures and experiences. Give me a break with that opinion. But nevertheless, if they do another Nolan Batman flick, I am in. Maybe they can get Joseph Gordon-Levitt back as Robin or whatever the fuck they were going to do with that character, because I speculated that it was, a Robin type character, maybe a Nightwing. I know I'm sounding really nerdy right now. It's cringe as fuck, but this is the topic of discussion. But I'm all in for that. I'm all in. Give me that Nolan universe again. In my opinion, nobody has nailed Batman better than Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan. Nobody has. Not Batfleck and Zack Snyder. Not Matt Reeves and that bitch Robert Pattinson. Yeah, I said it. I don't like the Batman. Don't like it. That's my opinion, though. I prefer Nolan and Bale to return. I love that. I love that shit. That world, the grittiness, the realism, the epicness of it, too. The score from Hans Zimmer. Oh, give me that back. Give it back to me, man. Guarantee people will fucking watch that shit. No doubt about that. I don't know if anybody's going to watch the Batman 2. I mean, I certainly probably won't. Listen, with that movie, okay, I'll give you this for the Batman. The Batman has a pretty decent story. It's just too long and it feels too slow for a lot of that movie, and actually kind of boring. Like, it's not like it's a noir crime movie. It's a detective movie, but it's just, for me, honestly, a drag. Quite a drag. Boring. Emo Batman. I don't care for an emo Batman, honestly. I know some people are like, this is the Batman we've been wanting. Really? This is what you wanted. You want him to be a pussy. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You want that? That's fine. You want him to be antisocial, not talk to anybody, and not do, cool shit? That's fine. Whatever. I know I sound like I'm taking this personal, but I just kind of went to that tangent there. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be this mean. I really don't. I'm not a fan of it. I feel like, so many people loved it. Some people were so high and mighty about it, even though some people were like, it's not that great, but, it was good. Like, I feel like those people need to fucking, pick a side here. The movie was shit, in my opinion. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on a bit. Not to any more movie news, but video game news. And I'm going to sound like a real nerd here. And trust me, I hate saying this. I hate speaking like this. But I think it calls for acknowledgement. I think it calls for me to talk about it and to give my thoughts on it, because I haven't been a part, or I haven't played that much of Call of Duty Warzone in quite some time. Now, that's not because I don't, hate Call of Duty. It's just that I've been playing Call of Duty Warzone since 2020, March 2020. I'm tired of it. It hasn't changed much. We've had one new map, a couple rebirth maps, a couple new experiences, new gameplay mechanics, new stuff, new things, new seasons, and all that. It gets old. And the game engine is still the same. It's the same Modern Warfare 2019 one. It needs a new engine. Clearly, people just know their way around it. Inside outs can glitch things, can cheat things, can slide cancel, can do all this and that, and it just becomes outdated, and just the gameplay itself looks old. And, it's just, an old game. It's time for a change. However, this newest update with the new Rebirth Island map and the way they've acclimated resurgence and the map size, the map design, the weapons, the way the mechanics work in terms of the buying stuff, the buy boxes, loadouts and all that stuff like that. Just the way that, and also the how the map is like designed to like it's like pro gunfight. What I mean is like it's pro, not pro gunfight. It's pro action. It's pro chaos. It's pro, fighting, getting into problems, and pro trying to get yourself out of them. Now, I'm not saying that every other map in Warzone is not like that, but this one is heightened up, and this is what I like to call, whether he may not agree with it or not, Dr. Disrespect. What his slogan is, this map is truly violence, speed, and momentum in a map. That is what this new Resurgence map is all about. And I wasn't expecting much, but I played it this past weekend, and I absolutely loved it. I've been kind of addicted, actually. It's been calling to me. I want to log on. I want to play it. I want to get on with my friends. I want to do solos. I want to beat up some little kids on that shit. I want to make some kids cry, and I just want to. It's just so much fun, and I haven't had that much fun in a Warzone update in a while. I mean, say what you will about Caldera when it came out. We all were happy because it was new, and Verdansk was leaving. And little did we know that map was going to end up being trash as fuck. Trash. I said it. No, Alex, you're being so harsh. No, I'm not. I absolutely am not. That map was not good. It was a fun in theory, a jungle-y map, a Pacific Island map with sunshine and beachheads and bunkers and a city, a little small capital city, villages, a mountain peak, caves, mines, stuff like that. But I'll tell you this, man, it being on like a mountainous island and having to just traverse uphill about 99.999% of that time playing the game was absolutely annoying. If you were not at the tippity top, you were considered to be not on the high ground and always at a disadvantage and just trying to hike up. I swear to God, the game was just a hiking simulator. Hike up Caldera Island. That's all you could do. How do you survive? Just get to the highest point and keep on going. It just became that. And I'm just like, what are we doing here? What happened to Verdansk? That was fun. It's just, what do we do? How do I, it just was a step backward. And also with the shitty launch that it had, I swear to God, man, you couldn't play that game in a stable condition for months on console. Now, I'm no PC player, so console is all I got. And I could not play that game at a stable condition for months. So bad that I didn't even want to play it. And not just me. A lot of people were not liking how the map was turning out and how the service and how the people who, were working on it were just the lack of work there. I know that they released it in the holiday season in December of last year. And then everybody was off work because of the holidays. And it's just like, this game's broken. I can't play it. What's going on here? How are we not fixing this? Oh, it's the holidays. They're on holiday. They got to get back from their holiday. It's like, dude, what a bad time to release this shit. And then on top of that, all of the bullshit seasons. I'll give you the first one with Krampus, holiday themed, Christmas theme. Loved it at first. After the second game I played it, I was already annoyed. And then to top it off of that, the recent one that we just had before the newest one, Godzilla vs. Kong, my God, they didn't even fight each other on that map. They just kind of fucked around and just killed you and just, were a pest on the map, and you just had to shoot them to earn points. It's like, motherfucker, what was the drive behind this? Just to get the big names of Godzilla and Kong? Was that it? It sure seems like it. And it was very odd to see Call of Duty Warzone X Godzilla versus Kong. Like, it wasn't just called, a generic Godzilla versus Kong. It was the movie title, essentially. It's like, this is a collaboration that was a year too late, people. Like, what the fuck are we doing here with this? What's the point of this? Why are we collaborating with Godzilla versus Kong over a year later? Like, what are we doing here? It just felt so bizarre to me. Like, it felt so weird to see that movie logo of Godzilla versus Kong in Call of Duty. I was like, this is outdated as fuck. And then on top of that, they gave you the skins of Godzilla, gave you a skin for Kong. They added a skin for Mechagodzilla, but he's nowhere to be found. Like, I was at least thinking, like, okay, maybe he shows up, and then maybe they find the new season, but no, they just kind of pissed that away. Now, they could bring it back next season. Who knows? I mean, I doubt it, but, we'll see. But I was just like, what a bizarre expansion. And I was actually kind of excited up until I actually played it. I'm like, yawn. They don't even fight. Come on, Raven Software. Come on, Infinity Ward. Come on, whoever the fuck makes it. I don't give a shit. Just get your shit together. And they did. They did. This newest update, the new Rebirth Island. Bonkers. I love it. I enjoy it. I'm here for it. Unfortunately, not many of my friends are here for it. Warzone has lost them. They have been lost to other games. And that's not my fault. I've tried to convince them to come back. I've tried many times in situations to do it. They will not come back. And I don't blame myself. I don't blame them. I blame Call of Duty. So take it on the nose, Call of Duty. You've had a lot of people still playing your game, but you could always have more. You could always have more. Despite how many people you have playing your game, which is a lot of people, don't get me wrong. You have a lot of people playing your game. You could always have more. And I feel like with those people that just straight up don't play anymore, they lost interest. A lot of my friends have lost interest. And I don't blame anybody but you for that. And this is a good step forward. This is a great step forward. Don't get me wrong. I love this step you're going into. And let's keep that momentum on for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This is going to be a huge game. Maybe one of the bigger games this year. This year. I mean, you have literally only God of War potentially coming out around the same time that can compete with players' time. I mean, there's no new Battlefield, no new Halo, no new Assassin's Creed. There's no Starfield. That got delayed. It's just you, Call of Duty, and then God of War, which is only on PlayStation. So you got to step it the fuck up with this one. All eyes are on you, COD. This is your year. This should be a walk in the park for you, and especially in the terms of shooter video games. It's all you this year. It's all you. This is all you. You can't fuck this up. You can't afford to fuck this up. And with the rumors going around that, the Warzone won't be at launch, which is expected. That's not a rumor, but the rumor of they escape from Tarkov type mode, the extraction mode, that will be coming out in 2023. That's a rumor. I don't know where my friend got it. I've tried to look. I can't seem to find it. He can, though. I can't. I don't know how he does it, but I can't. That's probably his special talent. But that's rumored to be coming out the following year. So you have a lot of time to really have this game make that 2-year cycle that you wanted. You release it in 2022. You release your extraction game next year, and then you boost that up. You get that going for 2 years. I want to see a solid, not just a solid, a worthy cycle of content for this new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 movie or game. Sorry, I want great content for this game. Great content. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I never thought that the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 needed to go. I did not think that we needed Black Ops Cold War. We did not need Vanguard. You had the better game already. Now, you're trying to correct your mistakes. Thank you. Now just make Modern Warfare 2 the best you can possibly make it. And make it so people like me, who lived through Modern Warfare 2, the OG one, Give us those memories again. You did it great with Modern Warfare 2019. Repeat that. Make it even better. Please, I'm begging you. If they can do this, if you guys can pull this off, man, I'm going to be so happy. So happy, because it would be so worth it, and it would be absolutely earned. And it just might make a landmark of a return for games to have good launches again. I want to live in a world where games have solid launches again. I want that. Nothing worse than getting a game or downloading or hearing about a game's release and it being mediocre or not good or bad or pathetic or not playable. I want to see a game, and I hope you can do it, Call of Duty, with a good, solid release. Not many bugs, if that. No problems, no server issues, nothing like that. I just want a game with a good release. Can you bring that back? The last game that I played that had a solid release was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And I wasn't even there at the launch. I came later. I came when the pandemic happened because there was nothing to do. And I fell in love with your game. Do that again, please. Please try your very best to recreate that, because that was fun. And it made me enjoy Call of Duty even more. I even was on my previous podcast, Out of the Ordinary Friends, when I even talked that I'm back on Call of Duty. Like, this game has made me come back to Call of Duty because I was absent for years. I hadn't played Call of Duty since Call of Duty Ghosts, I think. I think after Ghosts, once Ghosts came out, I quit. I think whatever game came before that, I was done. I quit. I played a little bit of Blackout when that came out too. I'm not sure if that was before or after, but then after that I was just done. Black Ops 2, 3, 4 didn't play. Ghosts, no. Advanced Warfare, no. Infinite Warfare, no. Didn't play any of that. Was there a Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? I want to look that up because I remember something like that. There was one, Infinite Warfare. That was like the worst one they've ever made, right? I mean, that's what I've heard. That it was like the worst one ever. Like, and that was when Battlefield 1 came out, or was getting starting to come out. And that was when Battlefield really took off. And then after that, Room also went down. So we'll see. I mean, listen, you can't reign supreme for all. Ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. It just happens. Hopefully that this is going to be a peak. Hopefully this is a peak. Hopefully we're coming out of the valley into the biggest peak in Call of Duty history. That's probably going to be hard to top after MW2, the OG, and even with 2019 Modern Warfare. It's going to be very tough to replicate, but I believe you can do it. I believe you can. Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I want to thank you guys for listening and sticking around, and appreciate you who listen to the podcast frequently, weekly, daily, however you do it, bi-weekly, whatever. You can find this podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. This drops every Thursday morning. Don't forget, and tell your friends, tell your family, like the video, share the video, subscribe, rate and review, do all that stuff. Support the podcast. If you have a question or you want to DM me a topic, all my social media links are in the description of every podcast. So don't be shy. I'll check them out. I'll see what's there. If it fits the show, I'll put it in. But again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys back next week.